Hello everyone, my name is Chris Pinola and I am excited to say that we are filming the first episode, the pilot episode to the mid-afternoon show. It's been a long time in the making, but we're finally here, hit the ground running, and we are ready to roll. And I'm joined here by my wonderful co-host, Mike O'Leary.
Hi, as Chris said, we're here shooting the first pilot episode of the Mid-Afternoon Show. You might be asking, what is the Mid-Afternoon Show? And in my words, I think it's complete randomness. We are joined here by a wheel along with who's ever going to be on the set. And we spin the wheel, see what it lands on. Doesn't really matter for now since it's just a bunch of words. Chris, for example. And we'll talk about whatever the wheel lands on. So we keep the show completely random.
Yeah. Like Mike said, there's a lot of randomness involved, especially with the wheel. It's kind of our main gimmick, I guess you could say. The show ranges from a lot of things. It's mainly a talk show at heart, but we will have interviews, there will be PSA segments, there's going to be games, all sorts of stuff of the like. But mainly we will be talking with people throughout the show. It'll just be us today, me and you, Mike. For the pilot episode, but that's perfectly fine. We'll have more people in the future, especially with the second episode. We're planning a interview for the second one, as a matter of fact, where that's not definitely set in stone, but we'll be sure to see whether that comes to fruition.
Details will be reviewed later, or when the next episode comes out, hopefully. All right, so Chris, tell me about yourself.
My name is, like I said before, Chris Pinola. I am an intern here at Abington Cam, and for sports, I do cross-country, track, just like the running sports. And I am a junior at Abington High. I don't know if I already said that. I probably did, but whatever. That's basically all you need to know about me. I'll be one of your hosts, a part of this. We may switch hosts, but today I am your host today, and I have, as I mentioned before, Mike O'Leary, my co-host.
Hello. So I'm Michael O'Leary. As well as Chris, I am a junior at Abington High School. We're both interns here at Abington Cam. I'm in Boy Scouts. I do track and field. I've dabbled in ultimate frisbee. My main sport is cross country. I'm a part of robotics and engineering club and a few other things.
So now that we got introductions out of the way, we can kind of talk about game plans and how this show will mainly be structured, like in terms of like future-wise. Because as we know, if you want to have a little blast from the past, this show has been in planning for kind of a long time, like since November,
I want to say either October or November. We had ideas for Thanksgiving episode. I want to say might have even had plans for Halloween episode, but when we were first about to start filming, we had over thirds, we had a intro card. It was for Christmas episode, and I think we got to either the day before or the day of filming, but stuff came up for all of us and we couldn't film it. But now it's the day of filming, March 6th. We're here and we're ready to bring the Mid-Afternoon Show to everyone at home.
Yeah, it's nice to finally, get on the ground, hit the ground running, because it's taken a long time, and we've kind of just been like, every time we'd meet up, it'd be like, all right, so what's the progress on the show this week? And I'm like, we're working on it. But it's just nice to finally get something like done, or not done, but finally work on it, finally just start moving along, because starting is always the hardest part with anything, really. Once you start, it's just kind of like, you keep moving,
Yeah. All right, so after a little break, we're going to find out what will be on the wheel. We're going to get rid of all these names on here. We're going to replace them with topics, and we're going to run pretty much a demo of how the episodes will play out. So we'll see you after this break. And we're back here for the second half of the Mid-Afternoon Show. And we got the wheel all filled out. All right, Chris, do you want to give it a spin?
Yep. And it'll determine what we talk about for the next 10, 15 minutes.
I'll spin it multiple times.
Yeah. Sports.
Sports.
Nice. Okay.
You want to start us off?
Sure. Well, we can talk about the sports that we do. I mean, we had mentioned that we are in cross country, and track. And how long have you been doing cross country for?
I've been doing cross country since I want to say 7th grade. I was never good at it, but then the pandemic hit, and I needed to learn how to run. So pretty much every day, got outside, got on a pair of basketball shoes, which was not good for running.
Yeah.
And I just started running until I got really bad blisters. And then I got actual running shoes, and I started running. And yeah, here I am. It's now 11th grade, and I'm feeling better at running. What about you?
Yeah, because you're definitely one of our top runners, I would say. And judging from a teammate perspective, as at least growing from, I don't remember much from 8th grade because that's when I joined cross country my first year. There was definitely a huge growth, I'd say, for at least both. I mean, I feel both of us.
Yeah.
But especially you, because considering how you felt yourself in terms of like your running ability, but I feel like it's gone.
Oh, no, it's definitely. Since when I was in 7th grade, I used to get last in every meet by like 10 minutes or something like that. So now I'm getting high up there in numbers and being not far behind first, maybe like behind a minute or so, minute and a half. And for like courses that's like, oh, it's a 5K, which is 3.1 miles for people who aren't familiar. That's not that much. And I think for yourself too, you've grown a lot. We've grown together. We're very similar in times, and I feel like we've grown a lot hand to hand. So like, let's say I get a leg up on you, you get a leg up on me the next meet.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely been an interesting journey. I mean, I've always been more of a fan of like running for fun as opposed to competition.
Me too.
But then I was like, oh, it's cross country. It's like regularly scheduled running with the added factor of running in meets. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll deal with that. Because it's kind of, it can get stressful. I mean, people think about it. They're like, oh, it's literally just running. How bad can it be?
It's every day.
Yeah, you literally run. Some people hate running. Like it's literally the worst thing. Like in other sports, for example, they'll like do like a 5-10 minute warm up of like a jog or something and be like, oh yeah, a nice shakeout jog.
But what other sports do for their punishment, we do for fun.
Yeah, literally. It's just like you got to enjoy it in order to like do it. But yeah, I guess you could say that's with anything though, really.
Yeah. To move away from cross country, unless you got anything else to say.
No, not really.
All right. What's your favorite sport in general?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm not like a crazy sports person, but one of the most like entertaining I think to watch personally is hockey. Hockey is like a wicked interesting sport. We got a really good team here at Abington too. I mean, seeing firsthand. I mean, at this current moment of recording, they're in Nantucket right now playing.
The Nantucket team. Not sure of the name.
Yeah, they're playing one of the high up. Is it a playoff game?
It's playoff. I believe it's the second round.
Oh yeah, nice. So it's good luck to them. It's very, very cool that they made it off the playoffs.
I agree.
Hockey's always been one of those sports where it's been like, it's fun to watch, but not really one of those sports that I've ever, like, seems like the kind of sport you kind of got to start at a young age, you know?
Props to them. I don't want to be getting chucked at a wall at like, I don't even want to imagine what speeds they're going at.
I know, it's just judging because both of us, you know, obviously, you know, we've covered the hockey games at the home rink in the Rockland Ice Rink, and you can see firsthand, like, wow, we go to school with these people. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks painful.
Yeah.
I went to my first Bruins game, I want to say last Thursday. I forget who it was against. It was the Buffalo team. Buffalo Sabres, I believe.
Oh.
I only stayed till the end of the second period since I had school the next day, but I want to say that was a very good experience, and I think it's grown my interest in hockey more.
Yeah. Hockey is definitely one of those sports where it's very, very eye-catching. It's not a lot of stopping unless there's like foul play, extreme foul play, because you can get like shoved around and stuff, but
Yeah.
it is definitely one of those more interesting, high-action sports that
I
can
agree.
keep people entertained for longer, I guess.
I like it. Did you ever play any sports growing up?
I did. As a little kid, like I played t-ball and then moved on to baseball. Wasn't really my thing. I only played like about a couple of years of baseball. That was when I lived in my previous town, back when I used to live in Brockton. But now in Abington, I basically had only done cross country because growing up, I would do these races every Saturday. They're about 2 miles long at the DW Park down in Brockton. And there'd be like races held there every Saturday during the fall and spring season.
Do you know if they still have those?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're still going up.
Let's do it one weekend.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun experience. And during holidays, they also have like events going on.
That's
like
nice.
they'll have cookouts some days. I think they have like maybe like a Memorial Day. I don't know if they might. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been there.
Yeah. When I grew up, I started off, same with you, t-ball, going into baseball, but I also played basketball and soccer. My favorite out of all three of those was soccer, but I think it was probably best to watch baseball. I could never get the hang of it. My dad was coach for all three sports, and he was always trying to tell me, like, oh, this is how you do it. I just could never get it for the most part. Actually, a funny story, when I played baseball, I always used, like, dead bats. So whenever I hit the ball, it really hurt my hands. So I never wanted to hit the ball. And I always felt like I was doing something wrong. But then I quit. I think a few years later, I learned that there was such thing as dead bats. I was like, oh. So
that's
it's
why
not
my hands
supposed
are
to
hurting.
hurt.
Yeah.
But
I forgot to mention, I also played basketball too. I don't know how I forgot about that. In 5th grade, I played. But yeah.
nice.
I didn't stick with it, obviously. I enjoyed it. It's just, like I said, I'm not a big fan of doing things competitively.
Yeah, basketball's fun.
It is.
But I shifted over to soccer, did a few travel years, but then I was like, you know what? The only part I enjoy about soccer is just the running back and forth. So I'm just going to stick with cross country and track, and that's where I am now.
And I apologize if I forgot that if you had mentioned this already, but you had said you had dabbled into ultimate frisbee.
Oh yeah, I forgot
sometime
about that.
last year.
During the spring sports season last year, I did ultimate frisbee, which we were the D3 champions of.
Yeah.
Let's go, Abington #1.
I believe we actually captured that on camera too.
We did.
The whole every single it was a clean sweep. I don't think you guys lost a single game.
No, we didn't. I don't think so. If we have footage of it, we'll play it probably right over here.
Yeah, we probably might be able to overlay some footage of like maybe the winning catch.
Maybe.
Right now, if we can find it.
I don't know. There'd probably be a bunch of people running on the field.
Yeah,
Right?
a lot of cheering. But yeah, that was an entertaining day. I actually joined you guys there that day. It brought the camera on the bus. Where was it again?
I was somewhere in Western Mass. I can't think of the name off the top of my head.
But regardless, it was a fun day.
Yeah.
Very, very, very nice way to wrap up a fun day of ultimate frisbee, I would say.
Do you have anything else to add for sports, or is it time for our next
I would say our next topic, if you're ready for it.
All right, you want to take the honors?
Sure. Well, why don't you do it this time? I did it last time.
No. All right. Let's see what it is. Sports again.
Sports again. Nope.
No.
Sports again. If it's sports, we'll end the episode. Okay, video games.
All right, video games. Can't remember who started off talk last time. Was it me or was it you? It doesn't matter.
You can just go if you want.
All right. So I guess I'll start off with a question since I don't know what to talk about. What's your favorite video games?
I have always, I play a couple. Usually I'll play like one or two for like extended periods of time. Like I don't play a lot of games at once. I like to stick with
Me
one.
too, yeah.
But currently I'm playing this one game called Deep Rock Galactic, and it's a very, very fun and addictive game, I would say. it's basically like a level-based kind of resource management game, I guess, because you play as these dwarfs, and they work for this big intergalactic mining union or company, and their goal is to like extract resources from this like one giant planet. But the catch is it's infested with like giant alien bugs and stuff. So what they got to do is they got to like go down into the caves, and it's like all dark and stuff. They got to mine all the ores and resources that they can while defending themselves from like the bugs and stuff in there. It's a very, very fun game. I recommend it if anybody has it. It's on, I think, PlayStation and PC. So
We're not sponsored.
yeah, we're not sponsored, by the way. We're just talking about games we like.
Yeah. Funny enough, I picked it up, I want to say 2 days ago, and I played 1 or 2 rounds with Chris, and it was pretty fun. I'd recommend. Solid game. What other games do you like?
Well, there was a game I know you recently started playing, getting into Risk of Rain 2. That is a very, very fun game, I must say. Do you want to explain the premise of it?
Sure. So I'm not even 100% sure what the premise is yet, but you start off every round in like these capsule pods, and you work with a team of 4, and you go around defeating aliens and collecting items around the map that can make your character either run faster, stronger damage, and you're supposed, I'm not even 100% sure.
It's like a roguelike style game.
Yeah.
So every single time you die, your progress completely resets and you like start all over again. And items are randomly generated, so depending on what you get is completely random.
Yeah.
But there are certain ways you can kind of levy certain better items into your odds.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing about it. So even though it's very random, loot is random based, it's dependent on you, I guess, of how random it can be.
Yeah. Some of the rounds can last hours. I remember the one I was playing last night lasted, I think, got a little bit over 2 hours. I was exhausted. I forgot how to use a keyboard at that point because I just,
Yeah.
I don't know, it was tiring.
I think my longest run was about 3.5 hours. It went for a very, very long time. But that's how you know a game's fun, if it keeps you like hooked that long. Of course, we can't keep talking about video games without mentioning our fellow cam interns gaming show that they have currently. I believe their first episode is up at this.
I'm not sure.
Well, if not, it's very close to being up and running. But it's very promising. It looks quite well, and I recommend you check it out if you do have a chance. If it is up at this point in time, but
for reference, the show is called Green Wave Gaming, and it is ran by Jack Regan and Jill Groom. Yeah.
No, I don't think anything like that has been done at CAM before, so it's it's interesting to see how it's going, and that it's actually like successful. It's cool. And we have had talks about streaming. If you want to mention that, because I know you've had your own ideas and implications of how that could be implemented even into the show.
Yeah, we've had talks about either streaming on Twitch or YouTube through Abington Cam, and just maybe we might bring some of those games like Deep Rock Galactic or Risk of Rain 2 onto either the mid-afternoon show or onto that live streaming service, and we'll bring more entertainment through that way.
Yeah. Twitch is a definite option. It has been one that has been talked about for a little while now, as far as I'm aware of. But yeah, I think it'd be pretty cool to be able to live stream from the Abington Cam Twitch gaming channel. I feel like that'd be
interesting.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
It's first for everything.
Yeah.
I feel bad for keeping you talking. We've talked about your favorite games, but I feel bad because I haven't talked about mine.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it. No, I feel bad for keeping you talking.
No. But I know you are a big Nintendo fan.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about some of your personal favorites?
Sure. From Nintendo, my favorite properties are like Pokemon, Legend of Zelda, and a lesser-known series called Pikmin, still kind of widely known. Pokemon, that's kind of self-explanatory. I think everyone knows what Pokemon is. I've been playing through the older games right now. I've been collecting some of the Game Boy games in the DS era. They're very expensive. I go to a local game store, and they have their prices there relatively like okay compared to like Best Buy.
Oh yeah, Land of Electronics, right?
Yes. in East Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Um,
Again, not sponsored.
it's compared to eBay, their prices are a lot better. And you know you're paying for something legit as compared to eBay, which will probably try to rip you off and give you something fake.
You never know what you're getting with eBay.
Yeah. And I'm trying to collect more stuff now since one of the Nintendo systems, the 3DS and the Wii U, their services are shutting down on March 27th. So
I heard
I'm
about
gonna
that.
start spending more money to get older Pokemon games.
Yeah.
But that's fun. Legend of Zelda recently announced a sequel to one of their most popular games, Breath of the Wild,
Oh yeah.
which was,
I'm excited for that.
yeah. I think, what was it? It's almost like a direct sequel, so it goes after the events
Oh,
of
jeez.
Breath of the Wild.
I'm not sure about direct sequel. I actually never beat Breath of the Wild despite
Really?
having almost 100 hours in it dedicated to it. But I need to finish it.
Hmm.
It's a wonderful game.
I
Yeah, another
loved
recommendation.
it.
But I don't know if it's a direct sequel.
Okay.
All I know is it takes place after, right?
I think it's after. I didn't really watch the direct when it was announced. I was asleep at the time, and I honestly forgot there was a direct, and I haven't gone back and watched it. And then Pikmin is a small puzzle game. You're stranded on a planet with all these small creatures that can carry ship parts to repair your ship to get off the planet. There's 3 iterations of the game right now with anticipated 4th game coming, I believe, in May. My personal favorite from the series is Pikmin 2, is where you follow one of the captains from this planet called, I believe, Hockatate, and you gotta fix your company's debt, because I don't even know how the company got in debt, but it's like millions of dollars in debt. So all right, we're gonna send you back to that planet you have PTSD on, and you're gonna get us money.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty fun because it's very creative, and I haven't seen any game do just what they do.
It's yet another game where you're playing as like a corporate entity working for this giant corporate company that sends you to another alien planet to collect stuff.
It's almost
Just like
that's a
another
theme.
game we talked about.
It's almost like that's a common theme.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I wonder where they get that idea.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It works though.
Yeah,
it works.
it's fun.
It produces awesome games.
Yeah, and I'll put thousands of hours into it.
Yeah.
If I have thousands of hours to put into it because of how busy I am. But
Yeah.
I would play.
Junior year is kind of a heavy hitter.
Yeah, it's not fun. But I think that's all I have to talk about video games. What about you?
Yeah, I think yeah.
All right.
So we have been talking for a little while now, and I feel like it's given a good taste of how, or at least in my opinion, how the show is going to be kind of structured around. What do you think, Mike? Do you think it's...
I think this is an accurate representation of what a normal episode would be like. We have the wheel, we have random topics, so this is completely unscripted. We just spin the wheel, pick a few topics, and see whatever it lands on, like streaming services. We could have gone on for another 15, 20 minutes talking about streaming services, but we chose not to. We might
And
save
Breaking
that.
Bad.
And Breaking Bad. And we could have saved that for a future episode. We might, who knows. But this show, as we've mentioned prior, is just completely randomness. And whatever happens, happens, and whatever doesn't happen, doesn't happen. We might save it for a next episode. That's all I have to say.
Well, yeah, thank you. And I will definitely say stay tuned for the next episode, as it would be most likely be a lot more organized than this one. We will probably have a guest by then. I'm sure you know who I'm thinking of. But yeah, we'll hopefully have more people there on here soon. And I don't know what else to say besides I hope you enjoyed this pilot episode of the Mid-Afternoon Show. And yeah, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching.